Welcome to Season 5, Episode 5 of COMMCast. I'm your host, Jose Ramos Flores. COMMCast is a production of the Longwood University Communications Studies Department and the COM 434 CommLab class. This show is dedicated to highlighting the Longwood and Farmville communities. So let's get started. Joining us on set today is Bella McCullough, and over this past summer, she represented Team Mexico in lacrosse as they traveled to Hong Kong. Thank you for being here, Bella.
Thank you for having me. This is an absolute honor to be able to talk about and just keep talking about what I did this summer and share how awesome and how much cool stuff I got to do.
I bet it's going to be an awesome time.
Yeah.
So our first question is, what position do you play in lacrosse?
So I play goalie, which is this position basically, for people who don't know lacrosse, there's 12 people on the field. There's attack, midfield, and defense, as well as a goalkeeper. And I stand in this circle in a 6 foot by 6 foot cage, and I basically keep the ball from going in.
So how did you get to play in lacrosse in Team Mexico?
Like playing lacrosse just to start, like how I started, or like both?
How did you join on Team Mexico?
Okay, so it was actually kind of a really funny story. My mom saw this Instagram post calling out for open tryouts for Team Mexico my junior year of high school, actually. And they were looking for players for the Paulus qualifiers, which unfortunately I signed up too late to join. But they actually invited me back for senior tryouts. And so I went and tried out with, I think, around 80 or 90 other girls. And we all went down to Mexico City for this 3-day tryout. And after that, I got a call about a week later saying I had made the team. And so that's kind of how I got started with that.
Oh, that's super exciting. So what was it like playing lacrosse in Hong Kong?
It was so amazing. It was absolutely the experience of a lifetime, but it was so hot out and so humid the entire trip that being in all of my padding and all my gear was kind of miserable. Like, don't get me wrong, lacrosse is my one true love, like absolutely the only thing I will ever talk about. But I was so tired and so dehydrated the entire trip. Like, that was the hard part, but I really, really enjoyed it. Like, getting to play against all those other teams and all those other girls, like, you never get to trade it for the world, and every time I get to do it, I'm always forever grateful for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you already mentioned it a little bit, but were there any other struggles to playing in Hong Kong?
Yeah, so some of the fields were not to the same quality of the fields in the States or in other countries. There was a field that actually was crabgrass, so it was like a rougher grass. And so as a goalie, and as a physical goalie at that, I dropped to the ground a lot. So with it being so hot, I was cutting my legs up because I didn't have sweatpants on. I was getting cuts all over my legs, like from playing. Like, we didn't get the same medical attention and staff that we normally do. While we did have our lovely, amazing, iconic athletic trainer, Kendra, we didn't have like access to ice baths. We didn't have Normatec boots. I think a teammate brought some, but still, like, we didn't have access to the same amount of stuff that we normally do in the States for recovery and like for our health. So that was one of the big difficulties, because I have some knee problems. So like, I typically need ice right after practice or right after like a game, and so I didn't always get that, and that was kind of a difficult part of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Are there any future plans for you in Team Mexico?
So I actually am trying out in December again for the senior team. I will be going to Houston, Texas for that tryout, and I will be hoping to qualify to make the team for my 3rd time. I've made the senior team once and the U20 team once. Hoping to make the senior team again. So if I do make it, we will be going to play for the Paulus qualifiers, and I think they've announced it yet. They've been talking about it being in Colombia this summer. And then if we qualify for the World Championship again, we'll be traveling to Japan in 2026.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you know, everyone here will be cheering on for you.
Thank you.
How often did you guys practice as a team?
So we actually didn't practice as a team until we got to Hong Kong.
Oh.
So the first time, I believe, my dates are all messed up because the time zone jumps had me so confused. The first time we practiced as a team was August 12th. And our first game was August 15th.
Oh,
So we all were practicing and training on our own. Like, I was working out. I had a goalie coach. I was working hard on my own at home. But the first time we all came together was August 12th, the day after we arrived in Hong Kong.
so just a little bit of team chemistry building needed to happen a little bit in there.
Yeah, and as a team captain, we talked about it a lot going into the tournament, about team bonding. So we would have monthly Zoom calls, and then it turned into like twice a month Zoom calls, and we were all already really talking. So like, I talk to a lot of those girls now, but even before, we were texting, we had a group chat, like we were trying to connect through other different ways. And so then we also came up with the idea of, for like, we brought Uno, we brought friendship bracelet making materials. I brought my laptop and an HDMI cord so we could watch movies in the hotel room. Like, we found other little ways to like basically team bond as much as we could. So, because I did not really have any alone time during the entire trip. I spent 24/7 with these girls. So like, once you've done that enough, you really kind of build that chemistry just right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how well did your team perform?
So we actually had our best finish ever internationally for
Nice.
men's or women's for Mexico, with 12th in the world. So our women's team in 2022 in Towson, Maryland, I was actually a part of that squad. We finished 15th in the world, which is the best finish period for Mexico. And now our women's U20 team has made history, finishing number 12.
This is awesome.
It was amazing.
In the history books. So being in Hong Kong, what was your favorite thing to eat there?
Oh,
I know a lot of choices.
there was so much good food. We got some dim sum. There was I can't even think. I don't even know the name of it. We went to this one place, and our friend's mom, who spoke Cantonese, came with us. She's half Mexican, half Asian. I don't know the specifics, but she took us to this place, and we was like this, like, it was these noodles and this like pork, like this like really, really tender pork, and it was absolutely delectable. Like, I think about that meal at least once a week. So I think that was the best thing I ate.
Well, thank you for answering those questions. Truly a remarkable experience that you and your team went through. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with COMMCast Trivia. It's time for everyone's favorite segment, COMMCast Trivia. We got a bunch of questions for you, Bella, and let's see if you can answer them right.
Oh, okay.
First question, what currency does Hong Kong use?
They use Hong Kong dollars, HKD.
We'll see if that's right. The Hong Kong dollar. Definitely did your research before this. Which country is the 35th fully sanctioned member of World Lacrosse and a founding member of the Pan American Lacrosse Association?
So it's either Argentina or Colombia. And so that's a really hard one. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say it's Colombia.
You're wrong, Bella. The answer is Mexico, the team you played for. It's okay. It's okay. We'll
Lovely.
make it up with the final one. What were the first lacrosse balls made out of?
Wood.
Wood. That is the correct
Wood.
answer. Thank you so much, Bella. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks to everyone with CommLab behind the scenes, and thank you for watching. Join us live next Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. on YouTube for another episode of COMMCast.